last year you guys had some struggles to start early on in the season and early on in the conference play, but we all obviously know what happened last year. How much do you kind of lean on that run just to kind of show some of the new guys that have come in, like, look, this is, we're going to figure it out eventually. This is what can happen last year.
Yeah, I think the process is the process, and in years past or in eras past, like 4 or 5 years ago, you might be able to have more continuity from year to year, and nowadays it's really a 12-month process, and so you have to stick to that process and find guys that are going to be committed to it. In the valleys just as much as in the peaks, and I think the way that our guys did that last year has been a real opportunity for this year's team to harness back and look at what can come from being committed to the process and staying together, learning the lessons that you need to learn, and then applying them in the next game. Ultimately, we want to be the best version of ourselves every time we step on the court, and every time you compete, you're building growth. And in March, when it matters the most, hopefully that's when we're playing our best basketball, and I think we're starting to see guys step up into roles that maybe we hadn't figured out how to maximize, in different opportunities earlier this year.
Do you have any updates on Tyler Patterson's availability for Saturday?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Like Sam and Bryce being in the starting lineup, how do you feel like they've done, and what kind of went into that decision?
Well, I think we'd been pretty consistent. We'd been one of 3 teams that had the same starting lineup. To me, there's nothing less important to me than who starts a basketball game. It's really about finding how the puzzle pieces fit together and maximizing your output with different lineups out there for a full 40 minutes. And so there are some things that we learned about our team as this year's transpired that we felt like we could improve by just tweaking kind of where guys came in and out of the game and what their roles were. Jade Mullen's a guy that has had some really good games for us with the ball in his hands, but he also has most of his college experience playing as a secondary ball handler and off the ball. Sam Lecolot's a guy that provides a level of toughness and ball movement and defensive intensity that we felt like we needed to grow in, which allows Max Agbampolo to be a little bit more perimeter oriented on the defensive end of the floor, where his length and his speed is really maximized. And so there are a lot of different things that went into it. And I think, as we continue to evolve as a team, you saw last year some of the tweaks and changes to our lineup at the very end of the marathon were some of the biggest impact players in our stretch run. And so hopefully guys can learn the lessons that they've been given thus far and be ready to take that next step.
The game in Missoula last year, anything that especially stood out, anything that you're kind of reflecting upon from that game going into this one?
Not really. There's no such thing as a rematch in today's college basketball world. You've got consistency in terms of the leadership with Coach Shakir and myself. There's obviously things that we know about them and they know about us that are going to be consistent from year to year. But ultimately, how you attack all those consistencies are going to depend on your personnel. And then, you throw yourself in the game environment and, you learn a lot about yourself. And so I'm excited for our guys to be in a hostile environment and with a lot on the line. And ultimately, those are the games that you have to win in March to get back to the NCAA tournament for a 4th time. And so this is a great opportunity for us to feel that.
How has your mindset changed, if at all, kind of about the rivalry now that you've had a year and 3 games under your belt?
It hasn't changed much. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. I think it's one of the best rivalries in college sports. I've got, a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Shakir, as a person, both personally and professionally. And I think that adds just a unique layer to it because, for much of the state, it's a very hostile situation and environment. And our relationship is just very, very different than that. And so I think that allows us to just focus on basketball. It's about the players at the end of the day. Both of us are going to always, operate with a high level of class and respect for one another. And I think that's really healthy.